Is the Vietnam War the United States' fault? That's something I assume the answer is yes, and I've always assumed that. But as I've been reading the comment section of people who subscribe and watch all my videos, people outside the United States are actually saying, okay, so maybe the United States made it worse, but they didn't start it. They basically finished it, or whatever we want to say. But I just want to understand officially, I want to designate this video officially to anyone who wants to jump in. Is the Vietnam War truly America's fault? Let's say America hadn't gotten involved in it. How would that war have turned out? You know, because for me, I've grown up believing that it was a war we should not have been involved in. That's how I believed as a 12-year-old boy when I watched a show called The Wonder Years. I learned about the Vietnam War, and I learned that people fled to Canada. And I thought then, and I think it now, if I was in that unfortunate lottery where I was single, didn't have a family, wasn't educated, or was a minority, which those were the people who were most likely to be chosen to go fight in Vietnam. If I fell into those categories, I would have been a draft dodger, and I'm not ashamed of that, because I can understand the difference between being patriotic versus blindly following whatever the government says that you should do in the name of the American flag. And to me, there's a difference. So I think there is an importance to question war. But Vietnam, it's like I was watching one of my favorite shows, Parts Unknown, and there's one where Anthony Bourdain goes to North Vietnam, and they talk about how that was known as the American War. So for me, as an American, my perception is that's what the Vietnam War was. It was an American war. Whether or not we started it or finished it, it's kind of our fault that it became what it became. So help me understand how right I am about that, because I understand, I'm intelligent enough to know that I only have my perception of things. It takes a global perspective for me to really understand what's actually going on. I would love to know a global answer to that. Outside of the United States, was the Vietnam War the United States' fault? I don't know the answer. I'm depending on you right here.